Hello, this is Aaron Schneider. I am going to talk about the ELO rating system, not to be confused with Electric Light Orchestra. I feel like this is kind of important for some of our discussions, and I'm also testing out this new mic that has been duct taped together just because the audio was terrible in the last one. But okay, let's get right to it. ELO, it was invented by this guy who, Arpad ELO, I guess that's his name, chess master, physics professor. And what's great about this is it's a way of determining if a player is better than another in a creative way that I feel is much more realistic in real life, which is if you have two players that, let's say they both have 1,000 points, then if they get a tie, they each keep their 1,000 points. Okay. But if you're playing somebody that's much better than you, let's say a 2,000 rated player, then if there's a tie, that the 2,000 rated player actually loses points and the 1,000 player gains points. And it's significant. It depends on the difference between the two. So really quickly, I know there's a lot of text here. The very last line I think is worth calling out, which is the difference in 200 points. Expected score for the stronger player is 76% win rate. Okay, so getting to it, um, you can see here is one of my accounts, Loco House, which I have kind of retired. It's just kind of a Spanglish translation of Crazy House, which is a variant of chess I like. But um, just want to quickly point out a few things here. There is the idea that if you look at the bottom left corner, there the chess puzzles I am pretty strong in, and Blitz and Rapid. That's a 5 minute game versus 10 minute games. There's a very big difference in rating, and this is something that I think applies to real life as well, where chess puzzles is a practice. I'm uh, more comfortable spending time. There's no time limit, and also I know there's going to be a mate in 3 moves, something like that. So it's a position where I'm looking at it, and I know there is a winning solution. Whereas in a game, there's this idea of chess blindness where you're playing and both sides can miss a very good move, and you're just wrapped up in your own head and your own thinking. So yeah, the difference between a chess game versus practice is significant, and my rating here demonstrates that very well. So I call myself a chess expert, simply because there is this rating system. There are different communities of chess. It's also kind of relative to which community you belong to. One community might have stronger players, so you have a lower rating. On Lee Chess, uh, I typically hover around 2,100 and have for years. So I feel like I've hit my cap as far as I don't plan on ever becoming a grandmaster or world champion. I think I'm kind of a strong amateur expert level. The next level up would be like chess professionals. So USCF is United States Chess Federation, and there is another one that is pretty popular called FIDE, uh, which is French, Swiss. They run the World Championship, and in the middle of those two graphics right there, where there's a line that I feel is important, which is you get bonus points if you perform well in a tournament, because tournaments are kind of more stressful, right? Uh, all of this is kind of important call outs because it applies to some of other things that I am studying. So, to continue along, uh, just kind of showing off my rating 2105. That's for the rookie four check user name, which you can find me on Lichess. I am about the 94th percentile. The amount of games played, 700,000 in the last week. You can see where I sit on that uh, bell curve. So yeah, there's a massive amount of games played on Lee Chess too. Almost 90 million in April. It says there are 7.7 billion games recorded on Lee Chess right now. It's actually much higher if you include variants. They broke 10 billion, I think, last year. So there is a ton of great data here that can be used for like AI training. There's a long history of recorded games going back hundreds of years. It's just a really rich data set. So I use chess a lot for computer science demos, and I feel like chess is ideal in many ways for computer science. It's an 8 by 8 grid. 1 bit equals, or if there's 8 bits, uh, that's a byte. So 8 by 8 grids is a 64-bit map. There's all sorts of really interesting ideas that relate to computer science and chess. But getting back to ELO, I wanted to point out a few things, which is in this screenshot, you can see that going back 20 years, uh, these are the world chess champions. And Magnus Carlsen is considered the best of all time because he has the highest rating of all time. He has a couple of world records. But look at the birth date, 1990, compared to previously. I consider him the first world champion to have had access to computer analysis. Before that, humans were better. 1997, Deep Blue from IBM, it, which was originally Carnegie Mellon University research, a graduate student from there, uh, made the essentially, long story short, I consider it a Carnegie Mellon research project that ended up being bought by IBM. They beat Kasparov, who before 2006 was the previous world champion. Um, and that was the first time that a computer system had beaten a world champion. It kind of blew my mind. I was a kid and I was playing chess at the time. Kind of changed my thinking about AI. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I get the same sort of feeling right now when it comes to the latest AI agents and how software development is getting to that point where it's going to flip. Where right now humans are probably better. I don't know about next year, and arguably it's already past that. So uh, Carlson, born in 1990, had access to use computer analysis as a kid and really grow up with this technology, which I feel like made him a stronger player. Um, and then just finally, let's look at this one more time. I feel like I benchmark myself with chess sometimes, and you can see that dip. I was probably feeling sick. Well, I know I was, and so I can see, where my mental state is, and sometimes maybe change strategies and what kind of work I'm doing. So, with that, I think the next topic will be about ELO and how it's used in benchmarking and testing AI.